Welcome back to Life at the Outpost, everything Cowboys, everything to do with the Cowboys, everything we want to hear about the Cowboys podcast
Unwavering bias.
towards the Cowboys in 2024. Good game on the weekend. Last two rounds, one out of two.
Bit of good news, bit of bad news.
We broke even. We beat one Queensland side anyway, North Queensland side, or Queensland side rather. Yeah, we might as well start with the Broncos game going down.
Let's get that shit show out of the way first.
Down to Brisbane there. The boys went down pretty heavily, unfortunately.
Went down as heavy as the rain was going.
Yeah, exactly right. The rain came down and made it hard for Drinky to catch a ball, made it hard for any of them to hold onto a ball. So, unfortunately for the boys, it was tough result, tough day at the office there down in Brisbane. And result being 38-12, but it was always going to be a hard game, I think. I mean, I know they were undermanned. They did get Reynolds back, but still undermanned the Broncos. So we probably should have had a bit more.
I'll tell you what, Renault knows how to play a damn good game in the rain, though.
Yeah. His kicking game, I mean, that was one where he was on. We've been lucky a few times and caught him when he's been off his game with his kicking, and it's really benefited us. But
if we weren't stuck in a corner, we were dropping the ball.
Yeah.
So he literally won them that game almost single-handedly, really. But
yeah, took advantage of it.
That said, I mean, I guess taking positives away from the negatives, probably just Tommy, right? That's about it. Again.
Yep. Yeah, Tommy, all heart with that chase down and grabbing Cobbo and putting him over the sideline. Yeah, Tommy Sattler. Young deer Don. Believe in the deer. Yeah, all heart, all game from Tommy, which was good to see again. You know, we sing his praises every week, and I will every other week from now on.
I mean, I feel like we've said it so many times now, but if there was any question on him becoming a leader, surely,
yeah, he's making that captaincy spot his own, doing what he needs to be doing.
Own that kid.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
exactly right. Pretty disappointing result. I think it's sort of highlighted a lot of things we've got going on that we need to improve on still, pretty obviously. Defense in the middle, things like that. Ball handling, a lot of errors. I mean, points coming off errors, as we've seen the last few rounds, but Broncos just too good taking advantage of it. I mean, albeit relatively close. It was a decent game for the first half anyway, and then it just sort of got away from us, unfortunately.
Yeah, second half, it just felt like we gave up, which is... It's kind of a bad attitude. I mean, it's one thing to go down. I mean, like they had points on there that they really shouldn't have had, but they got towards the end of the game that they just didn't need to get. You know.
Yeah.
Even we were obviously going to lose by the second half by the look of how everything was going.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to let those like soft ones in towards the end.
Yeah,
it was literally just a case of, man, like your captain just put up the greatest tackle probably in the last 3 years. You got to
pay back the favor. Come on, boys.
Come on, help us out, boys. Just do a bit of defense, just to get it cut out. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You're not wrong. I mean, we saw in terms of easy tries from the Broncos, we saw two of the exact same try from two different players on both opposite ends of the field. Yeah, with Walters and Smoothie going for nearly the exact same thing. So. Yeah, I mean, pointed out some flaws that we've still got to work on. Still, even after that Titans game, I think still got to work on. But overall, I mean, unfortunately, couldn't get it done. It was a tough game down there and down in the rain. But hopefully, come the next derby, the home game in August, the boys will be back in form. Yeah, dry. Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully it's just bloody dry.
But hopefully we'll be in a bit better form and able to make it a bit more of a contest. So, yeah, good job, Broncos. Fuck you. Reynolds. But, yeah, I mean, tough result at the office for that one. Moving on to this week, we actually went and spent the pre-game down in the sidelines bar at the Leagues Club. I'm actually starting to think of making that a little home base for the moment now. It's quite comfortable down there at the Leagues Club. We did a little bit of a preview of the match. So
and did that little alcove there as well.
Yeah, nice comfortable little spot down in the bar there. So bar. Save doing it here. We might throw to that now. Alrighty.
Here we are at the Cowboys Leagues Club sidelines bar for the pre-game of the first home derby for the year. We've got the Titans.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I think. Oh, geez, it's gonna be a good one. I reckon this one. I think with the derby itself, I don't think anyone is predicting anything less than 13 points, but it's going to be good to watch anyway. Great community already out in force at the Leagues Club here. Definitely pumping already in the other two main rooms, and this one's starting to fill up too. So,
yeah, we should see a few punters following the Townsville or the Cowboys stampede with the Townsville drum circle. A lot they have doing all that, so we might even join them, follow them over soon. We'll just do a quick little game match preview, I reckon, while we're here before we head off over to the stadium. Nice and early, soak up some sun. Team list pretty standard as you'd expect for the Cowboys. Anyway, there hasn't really been. I don't think there's been a change in our one.
I think the only major inclusion was Semi Valame into the 18, 19 man.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So Valame's made his way into the reserves. We've got Scott Drinkwater lining up there at fullback, Cole Felt on the wing, Holmes in the centre, Zach Laybutt on the other centre with Talangi on the other wing. Did and Townsend in our halves as expected. McLean prop, Robson at hooker, Tamalolo the other prop with Finafuiaki and Nanai on the edges. Cotter in at lock with Granville, Neem, McIntyre and Gajewski on the bench. Same as last week, so I'm thinking the impact of McIntyre and Neem is going to be quite useful. Gajewski will obviously come in and give Finafuiaki or Nanai a bit of a break at some point, so yeah, pretty useful utility there.
Off before he does, so it'll either be Neem or Finafuiaki, though, I imagine.
Yep, with, as you're mentioning, McKaylee as 19th man and Valame there as well. Titans, a couple changes, I think due to injury last week you were mentioning. So you've got Jaden Campbell at fullback still, Harley Smith-Shields on the wing. That's our first one. Brian Kelly in centres with AJ Brimson at the other centre and Jojo Fafita on the other wing. So they'll be replacing Khan Pereira and I believe Philip Sami, was it?
Yes, Philip Sami. Philip Sami, victim of that, quite frankly, most brutal hip drop I've seen in a while. I'm surprised he didn't get more injured. And I believe, I can't actually remember what happened to Khan, but I think it was HIA related maybe. So.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you're right on the money there with Khan Pereira being a HIA. So with the 11-day stand down and whatnot, but we'll see how they go. Harley Smith.
There's so many Category 1 HIAs over the last 2 weeks. It's hard to keep up with it, but good Lord, there's been a lot. Like, it's been brutal just these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has been tough on a fair few teams, actually, when you're talking about head knocks. I mean, that Roosters game early in the round was pretty tough as well. Rest of the team for the Titans, you've got Kieran Foran lining up at 5'8", Tanner Boyd at halfback again, no changes there. Moeki Fodawaker, Chris Randall, Jamin Joel, Fleece Haas, Bo Fermel, and Aaron Clark fill out the forward pack. With Sam Verrills on the interchange, Dave Fafita again on the interchange. Whether it makes a late switch, I don't know. There's still a bit of time.
Aaron coming off bench, yeah?
No, Aaron Clark's playing lock. So, yeah, whether they make a late change an hour prior and put Fafita in the starting side this week, I don't know. I mean, it's probably in their best.
Potency lies, I think, for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be in their best interest maybe to have Fafita in the starting side. Whether he's up for it or not, I'm not too sure what the plan is there just yet. But yeah, as well as Joe Stimson and Josiah Paulu on the interchange there, rounding out the interchange bench. They've got Isaac Fasua Malawi at 18th man, as well as Tony Francis in the reserves. Now, we did mention this prior. You did see this and pointed out. The referee today is Chris Butler, so I'm rather concerned.
I think concerned is an understatement. I think I'd rather Belinda Sharp after watching the rest of the games this week. She had a really good game this week. I don't really have anything nice to say about refereeing this week at all, really, other than hers game. So
yeah, I mean, Todd Smith set the bar pretty low. Let's just say pretty low so far.
Remember the group chat on when he was reffing that game?
Oh yeah, unbelievable. I think that's about it in terms of team news, unless there's any real late changes. I can't see the Cowboys side changing too much within that last hour, before that last hour is up. So I think that's what we'll expect to see running out. I'm quietly confident. I mean, after that Broncos game, I think we're still far from our best. That's very clear. That first maybe 20 minutes wasn't too bad, but
just the defensive effort, you know. I think, honestly, I was more shocked that, given the way that Tommy Dearden played, that we didn't stand up a bit better. But yeah, geez, we need to fix that defense in quick smart.
Yeah, most definitely. That the errors and just not finishing sets due to errors and whatnot. You know, even letting a team that's struggling like the Titans into a game like that's not going to be very helpful at any point.
In fact, it could even bolster them. Really, it could even give them the kick in the arse they need. So.
Yes, you're not wrong. I'll go for my tip for the game. I'm going to say, we've already said Cowboys 13 plus, you think, so I'm going to say Felt and also Talangi to score a try, as well as Robson. I'm feeling good about Robson. Robson's been on the up the last couple of weeks. He's been digging in, so
he's been digging in a fair bit.
He'll be my Smoky. What's your tip for the round?
It's got to be Neem.
Too easy, man. Neem anytime. Alrighty, so we shall get a stuff in order. I think anyone that's heading over to the game. It's a nice early one, 4:00. Nice sunny afternoon here in Townsville. Quite warm, but
it's so nice of them to do that to us.
Yeah, again. We'll add this in. This will be part of the rest of the potty, I imagine. We'll have a bit of a round review and whatnot of the games, the last two games. But yeah, go Cowboys, 13 plus.
Up the Cows, 13 plus.
And yeah, as we saw with the results of that one, that was a much better game anyway. I think probably not as convincing of a win as it should have been, considering who we played. But yeah, 35 points to 22. Sorry, it
It probably should have been 12.
Yeah, it should have been 12. Exactly right. Yeah,
there's a few interesting penalties they received, which resulted in extra sets where it shouldn't have maybe been an extra set there. But hey, we'll cop it sweet. Doesn't matter. We won. You still got 13 plus. Shout out Chad. Shout out dribblers.
Yeah.
But good lord. Ever since that one dissent call.
Yeah, I don't know what Felt said to Butler there. I know there's obviously a bit of back chat with the sports ears there. You get to listen to the ref's mic, so you can hear exactly what he's saying live, you know, and as well as the commentators if you want to. But everyone was a bit stunned, I think. I mean, unless Felt put a curse on Butler, you know what I mean. It might have even been a little bit of a payback, you know.
Oh man.
For that Tigers game that Felt got it over him a couple of years ago.
I don't know what he said, but geez.
Yeah, we lost him after that. He did not want to give us the benefit of the doubt or any inch, you know what I mean? And it made it tough because we blew that captain's challenge early on, so there were a few opportunities we could have used it and would have been able to overturn his dog shit calls or officiating. But yeah, I mean, even against the ref, we still come away with the win, which we should have. We should have against the Titans. Just unlucky. The Titans just haven't. I mean, they did well. They did well to get 22 points, in my opinion. Honestly, I mean, and most of those
literally
points,
all of Campbell.
Yeah, exactly
or
right.
Some sort of involvement of Campbell.
Most of those points scored while Chad was in the bin. See, that's one as well. I think I don't like it, but I don't hate it because I'll bang on about consistency as much as anyone else. You know what I mean? It wasn't intentional by any means, and it was probably a bit contentious in comparison to some other hip drops. But really, if you want to draw a line in the sand, I think he probably, and it's shown, I think, in him only getting a fine, not sitting down for any match suspensions. I think
he hasn't had anything like that before as well.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think it's probably 2 weeks ago we saw Plath and Galvin. They got sat down for 2 weeks for the same sort of thing for hip drops or whatever. So I think upon review,
Plath's was pretty bad, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think upon review, they've looked at it and gone, this could have been worse. It wasn't like he was intending to do that tackle. A few factors led to this. I mean, he probably could have let go as well, but what's he meant to do? Let go and let him run, sort of thing? Cause
yeah, exactly.
Campbell is going to score a try if you let him go. But yeah. I mean, fair. I mean, it's pretty fair. It was pretty fair in my opinion. Just
I know the onus is on you as a tackler as well, but like,
yeah,
we've been speaking about it over the last few weeks as well. You know, where does the attacker come into this in terms of
Yeah.
their responsibility of putting themselves in the right positions? But
Yeah,
especially when it came, I mean, look how bad crushes were getting at one point until maybe people realized, okay, maybe let's not train like this anymore.
let's not turn around and a tackle or drop. Yeah, exactly right.
Because it's literally dangerous. But
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, realistically, I think after review, you can even see in review, it's like there's nothing in that at all, really. But it is still hip drop, and you should still be fined for it just to sort of keep consistent.
Well, for how they've been ruling, yeah, I mean, I can't be too mad. That,
honestly, I wouldn't have been mad if he lost a week, you know.
Yeah,
like, or even 2 weeks. I mean, we've got Clifford there who can come in. So
yeah.
like I was actually kind of excited to see Clifford, but I'm also just as excited to see Chad not get hammered for something very, very minimal. You know?
Yeah. I mean, for consistency's sake, I think it was probably good that he did. I mean, get sent for 10. I mean, contentious, whatever. But yeah, I think
I feel like you have to with the 10. Like that's why I didn't hate the 10 because I feel like you have no choice.
Yeah.
If it's a hip drop, it's a hip drop. You can't. You just It's got to be consistent.
Yeah, sent for 10, exactly right. Probably what it should have been, penalty and whatnot. And yeah, getting away with the fine instead of sitting down for weeks. So it's probably been looked at with a bit of common sense. Finally, with how they rule on it. I mean, they're going to come out this week, and same thing's probably going to happen, and someone's going to miss 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, you know what I mean. I think that's probably the best sort of result you can hope for, and hopefully they carry that on moving forward with other tackles similar. You know what I mean, where
100%.
people aren't going in intentionally or doing intentional or serious hip drop tackles. But yeah, that's where most of the Titans' points were scored. I found anyway was at that point. I think Jolliffe went over, and there was another one.
Geez, you want to hope that people aren't going out doing hip drop stuff intentionally.
Yeah, exactly
Far
right.
out.
But yeah, I mean, lucky to have the 22 points. I think the Titans in that one. Cows still probably lacking a bit in defense. You know what I mean? Up the middle, it's something that we've been talking about in that Broncos game, like we were just talking about. It's relatively telling, but come away with the win in the end. Probably could have been a little bit further ahead, or the margin could have been a bit different, but yeah, I think pretty positive. Felty going over, making himself the leading try scorer for the Cowboys and Cowboys history at the moment, which is pretty deserving. So congratulations, Felt.
Shout out Matt Bowen, but yeah, congratulations, Felty. That is
100%
incredible.
Breaking the record. I mean, it was well deserved. He's been a one club player. He's been a club stalwart. So he deserves it, deserves all the accolades, and I'm sure many more to come this season. Hopefully he can make that record a lot harder to break, really.
I mean, realistically, he's still potentially got years in him.
Exactly right.
I would think. I still have a feeling that this might be his last, but at the same time, there's still potential that he has years in him, depending on how he feels by the end of the year. So
yeah,
I guess we just wait and see. But
yep,
I mean, he can definitely extend that lead out.
Yep,
and I hope he does.
Yeah,
I really
exactly
do.
right. Exactly right.
I think everyone who backs Cows is probably thinking the same thing. You know, let's see how far he can get it.
Yep. Yeah, but great record set by Felt there. Well deserved, I think.
And you also got to say that our play style definitely supports a Kyle Felt getting a try.
It does.
At the moment with those Harbour Bridge passes of Drinky. So.
Hopefully we can see him set 140 or 145, something that's a lot harder to break anyway. You know what I mean? He'll keep himself up on the leaderboard there. As well as Granville, club cult hero Jake Granville playing his 200th
Happy number
game.
200.
Yeah, another record broken there, or not record, but milestone, I should say, set. So, I mean, hasn't been a one-club player, but he's been with us for quite a while and been very dedicated, given his all for the club. So, well deserved, I think. New. I think he's a member for life or life member, whatever they call it, or something for the club. So,
what other clubs?
Yeah.
What other clubs? He's as Cowboys as it gets, really.
Yeah, he's a Cowboy. So, yeah, we've loved. I think everyone's loved seeing Granville play the last decade, however long he's been with us. You know what I mean? He's been one of the stalwarts, one of the standouts, and club favourites for a while. So, some
probably will always be.
Yeah, some positives coming out of that game anyway against the Titans there. Unfortunately, not putting us into first just because of for and against, but I think we are back to being the only team to be 4-1. Basically, I mean, Dolphins are ahead of us because they've had a bye, so they are still ahead on points, but they haven't won 4 games. So for and against is just keeping them in first spot at the moment.
Given Penrith's only 3, right?
Yeah, exactly right. So relatively positive signs there still. I mean, again, we're still yet to play anyone else of probably the Broncos caliber or up there to really test ourselves. That Broncos game was probably our first real true test, but if we can just keep improving on those little things each week, defense mainly and ball handling, which I think we did a lot better this game anyway. I mean, it improved tenfold, I think, but
I just hope we don't go into this next game, thinking that we can just run it over like we thought we. I feel like that's probably what happened with the Broncos. A little bit of that too, No, maybe we didn't expect the rain to be as rough as it was, and then all of a sudden, they're putting up things that we just can't handle, we just can't cope with, we haven't trained for it. So
made life hard, unfortunately.
Like, hopefully they go into this game and treat it like as if Moses is actually there and really put on a clinic.
So that's it. Playing the Eels on
Saturday.
They're
gonna be down in the forwards as well, so we should be able to run through middle.
Yep. Hopefully, take advantage of it 100%. Yes, we're playing the Eels down at Combank Saturday afternoon. Another afternoon game for the Cowboys. I mean, that one on the weekend was relatively tragic. It was quite scorching. I mean, down in Sydney, this one, but we've had a fair few afternoon games far this year.
Yeah, if we could not get another afternoon game, that'd be nice. But I think it's probably not going to be as brutal anymore now that daylight savings has ended.
Just a 6 o'clock,
damn,
please. Give us a 6 o'clock.
Give us a 6 o'clock game, boys. Come on.
Yep. So 5:30 p.m. down at Combank Stadium. One that I think we should win. I mean, given current circumstances, teams' forms and whatnot, how we've been competing. If we can just tighten up that defense, we've just been saying it each week, tighten that defense up so we're not soft in the middle and letting people run down the middle of the field on us each week again. I think we can come away with it. We can get away with it against the Eels most definitely this week. Team lists haven't been dropped as of yet, but I don't think they're going to change too much. I mean, for the Cowboys, and unfortunately, again, another injury. We've lost Zach Laybutt for the season. Laybutt, all the best in your recovery. Be joining Hess on the sideline with ACL rehab on ACL. Hesse, we did see him sort of injure himself a bit earlier in that game, and then he tried to run it out and played on a bit. You could see he was still sore, he was a bit ginger, and then just went down in another tackle, and you could see that was it. Hey, he just couldn't put weight on it. So pretty sad considering he's done well there. He's been quiet in comparison to the first couple games the last few weeks, but just done his job. He's been doing his job, and I think had a lot of potential this year. He could have really made a name for himself there in centre, but unfortunately be sitting down for the rest of the season rehabbing. It will give opportunity we've got a few players that can slot in there, whether it be Chester we saw replace him a couple of weeks ago, so he may slot straight back in, or in my opinion I'd like to see Valame
I'd love to see Valame in there.
Someone that's got,
as much as I love watching Chester play as well,
someone that's got the game time. I think probably Chester's probably a bit more versatile, but I think in terms of form and game time and experience, I think it's probably got to be Valame for me, in my opinion. So we're pretty flush there, as well as we do have that Warriors centre we picked up, whose name is escaping me at the moment. We haven't seen anything of him just yet. But
he hasn't even really been named as 18 or 19.
Yeah, no, we haven't seen too much of him just yet, but he was a depth buy for us. So Valemi Valea, I think it is.
Yeah, Valea, yep.
Haven't seen him just yet, but he may even be a potential option, might come into the fold there. So, but yeah, unfortunate for Laybutt. I think be a long season of rehab and whatnot, and hopefully we can see him next year regain that spot in the centres or somewhere in the side, because I think he's had a lot of promise and whatnot.
He's had a lot of injury too.
Yeah.
So hopefully it all pays off in the future for him.
Yep. Yeah, but speaking on that, I think we may have potentially Valame, in my opinion, might come into that centre spot. If not, I think we'll see young Chester come back in and fill in, because he's one that can move around a bit. He can play fullback in a pinch if he needs to, or do something.
That's where I prefer to see him play, to be honest.
Yeah. But while we've got Drinky, you know what I mean? If he's not away for anything, I think Yeah, you probably want to see Valame there in the centre's position, closer to the wing or whatever,
Much more preferable, yeah.
doing what he can do best.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's about it in terms of news. Really, there hasn't really been any other big news this week, has there? Results wise or injury wise or anything.
Got our records out of the way.
Yeah. The boys set their records and played the 200th game. Congratulations to them.
4-1 as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, I'd say.
Yep, I think it's it's just it'll be all toward Parramatta this week down there. I think I'm tipping the Cowboys again. Like I said, form from both sides, given from both sides. I think Cowboys. It's got to be an easy one for them.
I've got Cows by 8.
Yep.
But I am still genuinely concerned about our defense.
Yeah. Yep.
From the edge line into center.
Yeah,
so,
they do have some big forwards. Parramatta, they're known for their big forwards, so it's not something that's going to be easy to.
There is going to be a severe mismatch if Sivo is playing as well, which I imagine he will play, unless for some reason I can't see. I mean, there was a lot of bullshit, really, of people blaming Sivo for their loss this week. But
yeah, that's just
I think it's just
experts. It's fake fans, fair weather fans,
para fans being para fans, really.
But, that's the fair weather rugby league fan for you.
That's it.
I think Phelps copped it quite a bit, and now he's flavour of the month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. I think it's literally just, as long as we can tighten up the defense from the edge to center sort of spot there.
Yeah.
That's where I'm most concerned.
Yep.
And if Sivo is playing, we probably need to actually have another man out there, or at least pushing out there more frequently, because they clearly
big body.
They clearly seem to struggle without passing it to him. So
yeah, much like Marju, big body out on the wing there. So if we can,
Sivo's capable of holding off 3 to 4 on his own. So we need to make sure we get a third man out there and always have a third man on him.
Yeah. If we can have, and that's probably where having someone like Valame in the centres, you know what I mean,
would be incredible. I agree.
Yeah, you've got Val on the other side, but someone with that experience, exactly right. But yeah, I think I'm going Cowboys, but I'll go Cowboys by 12. I think Val's kicking's been a bit better, so we'll say actually no, sorry, let's go Cowboys by 18, because I just think they're going to get a bit more in terms of points in this one.
Honestly, it's a fair choice as well, because I think they're going to be a lot hungrier after this week as well.
Yeah.
I think they probably thought that they could have done a lot better this week, and I think they're probably going to want to go harder.
Yep, get the streak rolling again, or something like that possibly, and get back in and dig
that
in.
For and against, baby. We want that number 1.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Get back and hold that number 1 position down. Anything else from you for this week?
I do just want to give another shout out to I mean, I think it's been literally every week, but Tom did, and seriously, it's going to be hard to find another tackle that comes anything close to what he put up in that round 4 game.
Yep.
I mean, look how long it's been between games where we've seen a tackle even similar to it. You know.
Yeah.
There was one in 2021. I can't remember who it was, but
yep.
That's 2021. That's 3 years, man. Yep. And then what? 14 years for the Saddler? 15 years for the Saddler? No, sorry.
More. A lot longer.
That's 21.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
22 years, yeah. 22 years, yeah.
Yeah, so, the all effort from Tommy, as it is every week, all heart. I mean, that's your one shining light, even when there's a loss, sort of thing. Tommy's generally giving it his all and pulling something out of the bag. Which
if seeing that tackle doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will, man.
Yeah, exactly right.
Light the fire off that. That's incredible stuff.
Yep, good stuff. Yes, as always, you can find us on Instagram under Life at the Outpost podcast. Send us any messages in on there. If you have any questions or suggestions, you want us to bring up anything on the podcast, send them through. We'll get back to you on them and include them in. We are on YouTube as well. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Search us up, Life at the Outpost. Keep up to date with everything we've got. I think that's about it for this week, though. We've covered the last 2 rounds and next round. I think we should be right. Well on our way up to first position on the ladder by the end of next weekend. So hopefully we'll be coming to you from the top next time.
God bless.
Good stuff.